अस्सलाम वालेकुम, माय नेम इज़ मुर्तज़ा अहमद। आज हम फाइनेंशियल रेशियो टुडे वी आर डूइंग फाइनेंशियल रेशियोज फॉर के इलेक्ट्रिक। इसके अंदर हमने डिफरेंट रेशियोज निकाली हुई हैं जो इनका फाइनेंशियल डेटा रिव्यू है, 5 सालों की 5 years की रिपोर्ट है उसके ऊपर। फर्स्ट, करंट रेशियो। द फर्स्ट ऑफ रेशियो द करंट रेशियो, वी कैलकुलेट करंट रेशियो by current assets divided by current liabilities equal to current ratios. And current ratio throughout the year was changing throughout 5 years, and it was in first year we can see it is more, and second year it is less, and in 2020 it spiked, and after that it is falls again, and it is at 0.991. Acidity ratio is acid test ratio is calculated by current assets excluding inventories divided by current liabilities. And second, there is gearing ratio. Gearing ratio is calculated by long-term liabilities minus non-current liabilities divided by long-term liabilities and total debt divided by total capital and equity. Then we have trade trade profit gross. Trading gross profit, or gross profit margin, is calculated by dividing gross profit divided by revenue multiplied by 100. So this is we are saying the overall gross profit margin that is going overall 5 years, and in 2021 it is 0.01. Then there is operating profit margin. In this we calculate operating profit margin by operating profit divided by sales revenue multiplied by 100. The sales revenue is and gross profit margin, we have to convert it into percentage. And then there is a return on shareholder fund. Return on shareholder fund is calculated by dividing return on return total shareholder equity divided by it is return return on return on shareholder equity is divided by profit of the year divided by return on total shareholder equity is equal to return on shareholder funds. Return on shareholder funds has increased sometimes on 2019 18 it is 6%, 2019 it is 8%, and in 2020 it is 1%. After 20 on 21 it is 5%, on 22 it is 3. And we can also see return on capital employees, which is 10% for 2010, 2018, 2019 it is 8%, and for 2020 and 21 it is 7%, and in 2022 it is 6%. Return on capital employed is calculated by return on EBIT divided by total assets. We can see the impact on the company after COVID and before COVID. And next is asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio is we obtain it by dividing group ratio divided by total assets. This is how we get asset turnover ratio. After this we have efficiency ratios, in which we take average to find out our result. To find average inventory turnover period, we have to calculate average inventory held in that year and in the past year. We have to plus it. After that we have to divide it by 2, and then we divide it by cost of sales for that year in which we are calculating it. So you can see the result over the 5 year time period. And next one is average settlement period of receivable. In this we plus the two receivable from this year and from the past year. After adding them we have to divide them by 2, and after that the result we have to divide it by sales credit revenue. Whenever we are finding an average of company, we have to use the year that is available and one past year to find its average. As we can see, the average settlement receivable are changing over the years. In 2018 it was 0.34, and after that it has dropped. In 2020 it rised again, and same for 2021, and it falls again in 2022. And then we have average settlement period for payables. In this we first add two average payables from this year and one past year. After adding them we have to divide it by 2, and then divide it by credit purchase. In these equation, after calculating this, we also have to divide it by 365 for average for getting the answer, because it is related to 1 year. In this you can see the formula that is being used. In this you can see that is we are finding it by adding the 2 years, dividing them by 2, then a revenue multiplied by 365. This represents a year. After doing that we can find the period payables, trade payable, average trade payables for the years. After 2018 it's declined, and after 2019 the trade payables increased. After that it uh, falls in 2021 and also in 2022 by a large amount. Then after this is there is sales revenue per employee. Sales revenue per employee is calculated by the number of employees divided by, annual sale, company's annual sale divided by a total number of employees. And these are the total number of employees given over the years. As you can see, there are some ups and downs in the number of employees that K Electric had over the year. There have been some up and down in the company over the year. That's why over the time of COVID there was a decline in the number of employees, and after that there is still a decline in 2022 uh, as compared to 2021 and 20. The overall company is not performing any better before the COVID and after COVID. It has recovered somewhat after pandemic, but it still has its effect over the economy and the condition of the company overall. Overall, as you can see in the ratios. And then we have dividend payout ratios. In this we calculate it by dividend announced for the year divided by earning of the year available for dividends multiply by 100. By this we can calculate the dividend payout ratio for that year. And then there is dividend cover ratio. We calculate dividend cover ratio by earning for the year available for dividends divided by a dividend announced for the years. By this we can calculate a dividend cover ratio. And last but not least, dividend yield ratio. We calculate dividend yield ratio by dividing dividend per share divided by market value per share multiplied by 100. As you can see, this is the formula that I have applied to calculate this, and same is over here and here. As you can see, there are many changes that have occurred over time in the period of 5 years, and the company is trying to recover its financial position after COVID-19 and other things. Goodbye.